universal truth and the absolute laws of nature, for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. The divine mind knows, the divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute. Salute, salute, salute. Saturday night. So y'all already know what it is. Saturday night book club. As you come on in, and as our moderators come on in, I'd like to welcome everyone to the educational process from you to I and from I to you. Salute, salute, salute. As you come on in, share the vid, like the vid, love each other, engage in elevating and engaging dialogue. Salute, salute, salute. Moderators, 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 please, please, please let it be known, all donations should go to the Cash App. We are not enriching, we will not enriching the corporation. Tamika Hits, salute, salute, Sabbath. C Blaze, peace, peace, peace. T, what up, T? Moreno, peace and power. Brown Girl, salute. Brooklyn, salute, salute. Jump 718. Grump, what up, what up? McCoy, peace. Nehemiah, Washington. Philly in the building. Philly, salute Philly. Remain strong, Philly. Remain in love. Almighty, peace, peace, peace to the tribe. Salute, 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 salute. Todd, we're going to get into that. Yes, we will, Todd. Salute, salute. Yes, we will get into that. Mask and gloves, salute. As you come on in, like, and share. Galvanize our tribe. Strengthen our tribe. Increase our numbers. Increase our numbers. Of course, you know we will get into Buffalo, but remember, this is book club. This is book club. Salute, Devin. And being that is book club, and we are still on our title, Asada, we have some news. Some may find it great news. Others, such as myself, don't know how exactly to receive it. But the comrade, Sundiata Okolai, has been granted parole. Yes. Our Queen Comrade Asada's co-defendant, comrade, confidant, has been granted parole. After 49 long years. 49 long years. Terry Stewart, Rizzo, peace. It's been a very, very long 5 decades. 5 decades. Salute, Slaughter. Again, a lot of our comrades are happy. Exactly, Queen Angela. Why now? And that is always a question for me. Why now? There's a couple of ways we can take it. Salute, Comrade Colleen. Salute, salute, Queen. One, uh, they perceive he to be non-effective in our continued struggle. His health may be in such a way that uh, for us to view him in a leadership role wouldn't be something that they expect or anticipate. Um, and, you know, various other questions come into mind. None um, derogatory on his part. I'll say that because, as we know, he had very little to do with his eventual release. We don't play a role in that unless we are playing the role which liberated our comrade Queen Asada. If we are not in that space, we have very little to do with our eventual release from incarceration. All of that is done by others. I don't care how much you study in the law library. I don't care what writ you put in. I don't care what motions you put in. That is always manifested by someone else's doing, someone else's hand. If we are not going in and actually playing the role that was played when our queen was liberated, that's not on us. So after 5 decades, I always question why. Should we be happy? Of course. Should he be celebrated? Most definitely. I mean, 50 years, just imagine, that's my entire life. My entire life, which means all that I have learned, all that I have accomplished, all that I have put into the universe, with everything that I've done, all who I've become in that time span, this comrade has done behind bars. So, of course, I smile at the notion that he is released. But again, we have to be mindful of the games that these individuals play. We must be mindful of the fact that, regardless of his age, regardless of his health, he most definitely will be watched. And at this point, we need to have as much security, as much love, and as much understanding and a good ear around him. So whatever wisdom he has to bestow on us, we can receive it. So again, with his release, his soon to be release, we know just how serious this work is. We know how serious the task is at hand. And we salute him, and want and waiting for instructions. Okay, that being said, Ross Davis, salute in the UK. Gongu, peace. Christopher Farmer, peace. Erie, hey, what's good? Natalie, salute. RJ, peace and power. So again, um, Sundiata has made the board, um, and we definitely will keep our most progressive energy shooting in his direction. Apex, salute. Now, let's get into Buffalo. As many of you know, there was a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York. Uh, I was actually in Long Island when I heard, well, when the news came through on my phone, and I was driving, so I really couldn't get the total event as it was unfolding. Um, I had someone read it to me, and it said at that time, I believe it was 8 people. Now we know it's something close to 12 people were shot and subsequently killed in a Buffalo supermarket. The shooter, 18 years old, white male, fully armored, body armor on. And from what I'm seeing, right before came off of Bookclub, not only did he have body armor on, thanks Grump, 13 shot and 10 killed, and 8, or I believe 8 black and 2 white. Not only did he have body armor, but he also had a camera on his headgear. So you actually, saw the visuals. Predominantly black in this store. And from what conventional broadcast news media is reporting, that he, on his social media pages, praised Dylan Roof and a few other alleged mass shooters, assassins, murderers. Shakur, salute. The Attention Merchants by Tim Wu is a great read. The shooter was live streaming, and that's the new plot twist. Derek Bailey, salute. Yeah, definitely, he was live streaming, but not only was he live streaming, there should have been cameras in the store, and also, as of lately, the past few months, have anybody noticed that some of these shootings that police were on the scene, their body cameras haven't been working or haven't been on or we haven't had those visual accounts? All of a sudden, these last few shootings, mass shootings, and other shootings that police have been on a scene or on their way to the scene and have gotten to the scene, we have no camera footage. However, every night on the news, young black, young brown, young red, young yellow individuals are seen on camera doing all type of heinous things, from shootings to stabbing to jumping elders to jumping each other. All of that has been on film, right? The break-ins, right? The glass breaking, right? Smash and grab robberies, all that has been filmed. So we can have a visual of who people in the world are seeing as us. But all of these questionable acts, all of these acts committed against our people in mass, ironically, since George Floyd, we have no camera action from law enforcement, very minimal. We've seen that has kind of subsided. Well, not to mention that a lot of seasoned veteran officers have been forced off of the job, right, because of the tune-up, forced retirements and things like that, and just uh, a will not to perform their racist duties. They've decided to leave. So, in the coming days, maybe we will see some other footage because that that we're getting so far is it's a disrespect to our intelligence. It's a disrespect. No. I don't leave the five boroughs much. That shooting was in Buffalo. I don't, and I definitely don't go upstate to that degree. I am very, very local when it comes to New York. Upstate New York, I'm well aware of how they move. Oh, Brown Girl. No, Brown Girl is in Mass. Brown Girl is in Mass. So, we send universal healing and strength to the community of Buffalo, but we have to soldier up. It's been my cry for years and years and years. Excuse me, that we just are in a space where we continue to again move freely and haphazardly as if it's not a jungle, as if we aren't in a war. And I don't know how many other ways I can say that it is not sweet, that we are always under attack. I can say it every day on social media and people still won't get it. You'll still see people TikTok and you still see people look on my timeline. There were 4 or 5 different women at an event, all of them doing the same thing, shaking their ass in front of the camera, you know, half clothed, drinking, turned up. Everybody is that girl. Or dudes doing the ignorant shit, or getting phone videos from jail, dudes smiling in jail and tossing. It's you know the sheer ignorance, right? It's just uh, mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. We were in a war, and while everybody else is positioning themselves, joining other organizations, snatching resources, learning how to cooperate and communicate with each other, we still, right, right here, worrying about Meg, worrying about all type of foolishness, whether Portia and her African man is on a boat somewhere, whether or not she got a BBL or not. We just worried and overconsumed with bullshit, and the casualties are going to line up. I don't know how many people I've seen this week just Bliz on these vacations and all type of just it just makes no sense. So when we see Buffalo, right, and then I look at a story coming out of Philly where a young brother and definitely made his family our deepest condolences. I believe his name is Dixon, gunned down, broad daylight at a gas station, just gunned down. Footage of that. There's footage of that, right? Show him. He's gunned down. I don't know how many years I can continue working in this field, working with and for the people, and see black mothers crying continuously with the tears, and he didn't deserve to die like that. And again, at the hands. So again, as we watching, I keep telling you the mentality of black men that without a flinch can murder another black man who they may not even know, may not have any issue with, or issue so minute that it doesn't require murder beef, while that continues to go on and the gang of the hip hop culture continues to go on, that others show you just how easy it is and how heartless they are with gunning down a bunch of us. Just like that. That's how they used to do it when we were enslaved, right? When they took these doctors, these lawyers, these mathematicians, these scientists, these spiritualists, these great people, and enslaved them. That's how they used to gun us down, whip us down, chop us down in tens and twenties and hundreds within a day. Do you understand? This is just how they did it. So again, the mentality doesn't change because our conditions haven't changed, and the same people, the same mindset is still moving. Our people are in a space where their mindset, where their consciousness, where their awareness of what we're going through has diminished. The importance of who we are and where we need to go has diminished. We have been devalued mentally. Spiritually, we've been dead because you choose to manifest your spirituality to a bastardized space of what religion and spirituality is. So we've been dead. You've been dead in that aspect for 2,000 years. And that's obvious. So when you're spiritually and mentally dead, right? Slaves of a mental death and power, you're a victim. And, and I don't get into the religious and spiritual aspects of people because others have specific beliefs that may have gotten them through whatever they had to get through. And I stay away from it. I too was raised in a certain way. I too inherited a certain belief. And now that I have wise, now that I have research and I'm able to assess, and question, I'm free from that. I'm free from that, But they've placed us in a perfect situation for so many of us to meet our demise. So many of us to meet our demise. That in this war, they're just gathering up casualties. So when I say that there's no luxury of time to be over inebriated, there's no luxury of time to be engaged in bickering, there's no luxury of time to allow people to separate us based on gender, based on flags, you understand, based on these organizations that they have empowered and financed. Can't say, what else can I say? We are living proof. History will prove my truth. And I can only continue to arm those who really, really deep down inside need to be armed and encouraged. It's funny how we are still on a majority stuck in this frame. And this frame of mind is what keeps us right here, right in bondage. Do you know that we are the only people who believe that we are not only in debt to a higher power, but we are also in debt to our captors? When you come from that space and you can't shake that, at any given time they can take you out, because you will allow either one of those to have power or authority over you. We are born indebted to two different spaces. We are indebted to the higher power by any religious doctrine that you can find. You are born in debt. And if you are in this corporation, if you are under white supremacist doctrine, you are born indebted to that as well. And if we don't recognize that and question that, how can you be born in debt? You, a universal being of truth, someone who came in perfect math in order to move and grow and have flesh and bone and blood and spirit, that you are indebted to two institutions that you can't even see. Oof. If that doesn't trigger you to research, to move, and to stop acknowledging that bullshit, nothing else will. Nothing else will. You can never make that make sense. You can never sense. Ever. You can't make that make sense. How can you be indebted to so many institutions just by being here? So, with the Philly shooting, with the Buffalo shooting, again, we send our salutes to the families. There's another incident that's going viral on social media that needs to be addressed, which is in an alignment with this. there was a little cracker boy with a whip. Comes up to what we now know as a black family's house, whipping, banging on the door, whipping, banging on the door. The adult female of the house came through, chased him off, and yet that's not it. After that, the father, the man of the house, went to this young man's house, made an attempt to address the male adult of that house. Words were exchanged. Cracker, Euro, pulled out and shot at him, bust at him. Now, some people are celebrating. That's how you do it. That's how you protect your family. Whoop-de-woo and all this shit. I find it utter stupid. Stupid. This is in Dallas, Texas, I believe. And Dallas has had so many high-profile racial events that took place since the pandemic and before. As we know, they would, we could go back to our great comrade, Elder Khalid Muhammad, when they had to go through there because, not too far from there, they drag a elder black man, by his feet, drug him while they was driving a pickup truck. Just drug him until he was no more, right? So we know what type of time they on out there. And our people, again, have to learn the rules of engagement. Have to learn the rules of engagement and know what these people are allowed to do. Right, James Bird. Thank you, Ninth. Thank you, McCoy. Right? You on somebody's property. Yes, E. Jasper. Yeah. You're on someone's property down there. Y'all know how they play out of town, especially Texas, the Lone Star. You know, everybody's hammered up. You're in the safety of your home. You had a video of the young man on your property. Now, what do? You put yourself in danger? By what? By talking, riffing, knocking on the same thing that you didn't like, that you took offense to. You're going to risk your life as a black man to knock on someone's door to do what? To do what? To talk, to beef? What are you going to do if you're not going there to get busy? We as black people have to stop moving off of emotion. Stop being reactionary. Drama was brought to your door. The queen handled it. She told you. You have video of it. Do whatever needs to be done yourself or allow the machine to take it over. Because after that went viral, a lot of things was activated. People were activated. People watched. People move on accord. Don't you take yourself outside, unarmed, to a white man's home. I mean, come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? Hmm? Again, when we moving from a space where we are militant, we have a correct way of handling any indiscretions, any threats to us. When we are organized and effective, we know that we don't put ourselves at risk. Understand that. Should that man have aimed and pulled that trigger, that queen would have watched this man expire right there for a situation that could have been handled 50 different ways. So I don't cheer for this man. Not at all. Not at all. Our men have to be taught to stop dying. Stop being the one to stick your chest out and say, I'm ready to die for mine. Because we've been dying a long time. We've all been willing to die for a lot of little bullshit. We've been willing to die a long time. Stop sticking your chest out and saying, I'm willing to die. And put your brain in space and say, I'm willing to kill and live. So, okay, let's get into this book club tonight. Let's do what we do. Again, I'd like to thank everybody that's here, that's joining, that has joined, all our moderators. Thank you, Dominique Sellers, for the Cash App. Salute. And again, LG, peace, peace. All donations for the tribe. Cash App. We're not getting these corporations enriched because you see what they're doing. They are funding their war machines. And if y'all don't know that we've been in war a very long time, the rules of engagement have shifted. Bless sibling party, Jarastafari. All right? So let us begin. We're on page 183. And if you're joining us a little late, we acknowledge the good news that our comrade Sundiata has made parole. He will be released shortly after 49 years held captive. Salute, salute, PCB. Much appreciated. Marlon Richardson, salute, salute. All right. Let us begin. I heard a lot about the Republic of New Africa and have promised myself to check it out. The provisional government of the Republic of New Africa advocated the establishment of a separate black nation within the U.S. to be made up of what is now South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. At the time, I thought the group was kind of wild and far out, but I got a good feeling being around them, and the idea of a black nation appealed to me. The first time I attended a Republic of New Africa event, I drank in the atmosphere and enjoyed the easy audacity of it all. The surroundings were gay and carnival-like. A group of brothers were pounding out Watusi, Zulu, and Yoruba messages on the drums. Groups of sisters and brothers danced to motherland rhythms until their skins were glazed with sweat. Speeches were woven between songs and poems. Vibrant sisters and brothers with big afros and flowing African garments strolled proudly up and down the aisles. Bald-headed brothers wearing combat boots and military uniforms with leopard skin excuse me, epaulets stood around with their arms folded, looking dangerous. Little girls running and laughing, their heads wrapped with gailies. Tiny little boys wearing little tiny dashikis. People calling each other names like Jamal, Malik, Keisha, or Aisha. Sandalwood and coconut incense floated through the air. Red, black, and green flags hung from the rafters alongside posters of Malcolm and Marcus Garvey. Serious-looking young men wearing jeans and green army field jackets passed out leaflets. Exotic-looking sisters and brothers decked out in red, black, and green sat behind felt-covered tables and sold incense, bead earrings, and an assortment of other items. Peace, sister, a voice said. Do you want to be a citizen? What? I asked, without the slightest notion of what she was talking about. A citizen, she repeated. Do you want to be a citizen of the Republic of New Africa? How do I become a citizen? Easy. Just sign your name in the citizen's book. That's all. Yeah? You want a name? A name? Yeah, sister, a name. If you want an African name, just ask that brother over there to give you one. The brother she pointed out was wearing a long bubble with matching pants and a matching fez type hat. He was wearing various necklaces made of beads, bones, shells, and pieces of wood. His left ear was pierced, and his face was strained in concentration, the veins in his forehead throbbing. Without giving it a second thought, I went over to have my name changed. The brother looked at me, asked me a couple of questions which I don't remember, and then began shaking a container furiously. He hurled out the contents, which turned out to be shells, onto a soft cloth. After a long concentrated stare at the shells, and after glancing back and forth at me, the brother decided that my name was Ubumi Oladeli. He spelled the name out to me as I wrote it down. Then I hurried over to the sister's table and became a citizen of the Republic of New Africa. Ubumi Oladeli. I liked the way it sounded, soft and musical, kind of happy sounding. I filed my new name away in my pocketbook and continued sucking in the atmosphere, tripping out on the idea of a black nation in Babylon, a nation of black people smack dab in the middle of the belly of the beast. Imagining black youth flourishing and being nourished in black schools, taught by teachers who loved them and who taught them to love themselves, controlling their lives, their institutions, working together to build a humane society, ending the long legacy of suffering black people have endured at the hands of America. My mind spaced out on the idea, and in a minute I was imagining red, black, and green buses, apartment buildings with African motifs, black television shows, and movies that reflected the real quality of black life rather than the real quality of white racism. I imagine everything from cities called Malcolmville and New Lumumba to a reception for revolutionary leaders around the world at the Black House. Sure enough, I liked the idea of a black nation, but I didn't give it any serious consideration as a possible solution. Back then, the idea just seemed too far fetched. I guess at the time, having an African name seemed a little far fetched too. I told my friends about the name, talked about it for a few days, and then promptly forgot about it. Peace, Regina B. Hey, Lotus, what's up? So, now, South National. Peace, 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 peace. Right? So, I too had dealings, and I give you guys so much of myself on here. I too was able to be blessed with uh, meeting and becoming comrades with one of the leaders and original members of the Republic of New Africa. Um, I met the brother while I was away in that special school. He was there, and he was very quiet, um, didn't speak much, but me being nosy and observant all the time while I was in the library, in which I worked at many of the different facilities I was in. Either I worked in the library so I could be close to the law library and the law journal, or the general library, or I worked in wherever the medical facility was. I always kept those kind of gigs when I was in there. So looking through the general library, I came across a book on the Republic of New Africa, and the cover had animation. And I'm looking at the book. I read the book, so I'm going over it, and I'm like, damn, this is a powerful. It wasn't a big book, sort of a pamphlet, maybe about 60 pages, rather thin. But I kept looking at the person on the cover, and I'm like, one day I looked at the brother, and I said, oh, this is the brother on the book. So, having had the acquaintance, because when you are in these spaces, a lot of the Muslim communities um, have security, brothers who stand sutra, and this was a big brother. I mean, big chest, big, tall, strong brother, older dude too. So I used to stand sutra with him because I had a reputation for dealing with a lot of different individuals. So I knew all the Bloods that was coming up. I knew the Lions, which was the Jamaican gang. I knew a few of the Lokes. I just knew a lot of people, and I would stand sutra with them. So I had to ask him one day. I had the book in my hand. And I pulled him to the side, and I said, "Brother, is this you on this cover?" And he just kind of smirked and smiled and said, shh. And from that point, every day I could be around him. I was around him, and I just soaked up so much because he, was part of the military um, of the Republic of New Africa. So, you know, we would talk for hours. He taught me so much about guerrilla warfare and how to move Um, just so much, man. He really taught me a lot. Um, but he had several cases around the country. Matter of fact, he was waiting to be extradited to Arizona. He was facing the death penalty in Arizona for a couple of things that he did um, in the war, in the Liberation War. Um, and right before I got my appeal, they had came and extradited him out there. And like I said, I'll never forget, what we spoke about, how much I learned from him. And I never could get any information once he left New York State. I would look him up, look his name up all the time, and just didn't get anything from it. But he told me about the principles of the Republic of New Africa and exactly what it would take. And he had some far out ideas too. Some of the ideas, it was like, really, when you in the mix of that and you hear how extreme and how radical our people are, and you know that they're very serious about it, and they've been off the set for a minute, some of the ideas is just like, wow, would that work? Some of them, just flat out wouldn't work. Um, but I was just shocked that, I was able to meet someone of that importance and to have him entrust in me and school me and understand how serious I was about it, and knew that my heart was genuine when it came to liberating our people. But I've been, I've been home 18 years, and he was much older than me. So I'm not even sure, if he's in that system, if he's still around. But he's another one of our comrades who've been gone, who gave it all, risked it all, in order, to put a dent in this situation that we're going through, you know. And recently I've been contacted by, members of the Republic of New Africa, because now they've kind of switched strategies and tactics. They have a few members, they wanted me to run for Congress in New York, and I'm like, under one of their, political parties, and I'm like, that, you have to understand New York politics and how that plays, play out like that. It's difficult. Thank you, E. Thank you, E, for the cash app. So yeah, it was I've been through a lot. I've met a lot, and I've researched a lot. Peace, peace, Marlon. Salute, salute. Yes, and never forget Zimbabwe. All right. Um, let's continue. It wasn't until years later, after college and more revolutionary activism and marriage, that I began to seriously think about changing my name. The name Joanne began to irk my nerves. I had changed a lot and moved to a different beat. Felt like a different person. It sounded so strange when people called me Joanne. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't feel like no Joanne, or no Negro, or no American. I felt like an African woman. From the time I picked my hair out in the morning to the time I slipped off to sleep with Mingus in the background, I felt like an African woman and rejoiced in it. My big, abstract, black and white, ink blot looking painting was replaced by paintings of black people and revolutionary posters. My life became an African life. My surroundings took on an African flavor. My spirit took on an African glow. From the paintings on my walls to the big fat pillows on my floor. From the incense burning in the air to the music dancing through the rooms. My whole life was moving to African rhythms. My mind, heart, and soul had gone back to Africa, but my name was still stranded in Europe somewhere. Joanne was bad enough, but at least my mother had given it to me. As for Chesimard, well, I could only come to one conclusion. Somebody named Chesimard had been the slave master of my ex-husband's ancestors. Chesimard, like most other last names black people use today, was derived from massa. Black folks went from being Mr. Johnson's Mary and Mr. Jackson's Paul to being Mary Johnson and Paul Jackson. Sometimes, before dozing off to sleep, I would lie in bed and think about it, wondering how many slaves Chesimard had owned in Martinique and how often he beat them. I would stare up at the ceiling, wondering how many black women Chesimard had raped, how many black babies he had fathered, and how many black children, black people, he had been responsible for killing. So the name finally had to go. I thought about Ubumi Oladele, but there was one problem. I didn't know what the name meant. My new name had to mean something really special to me. At the time, there was little pamphlets being put out listing names and their meanings, but I had a hard time finding one I liked. A lot of the names had to do with flowers or songs or birds or other things like that. Others meant born on Thursday, faithful, loyal, or even things like tears or little fool or one who giggles. The women's names were nothing like the men's names, which meant brave things like strong, warrior, man of iron, brave, etc. I wanted a name that had something to do with struggle, something to do with the liberation of our people. I decided on Osada Alugbala Shakur. Asada means she who struggles. Alugbala means love for the people. And I took the name Shakur out of respect for Zaid and Zaid's family. Shakur means thankful. Salute, 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 salute to the chat. Salute, 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 salute to the chat. Thank you to the moderators. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Asada Shakur. Joel, glad you joined us. What's good, what's good, what's good? Silk, peace. Peace, peace and power. Peace and power, peace and power. All right? Yes, so it's deep what names mean. All right? It is deep. It is very, very deep. Very deep. How is everyone? Everyone is fine. What's going on? Brian Rader, a resident MC. Salute, salute, salute. As you join, share the video, grow our tribe. Right? Grow our tribe. And be be energized. Please be energized. Be strong. Be strong. All right, we have a lot coming at us, and that means we have to build up our strength, our resolve. Salute, salute, Santana. Thank you for the cash app. It's very hard out here. It's very hard all over. As I've been saying, we are in a war. And war is never easy. Never easy. What page we on? Well, what page we on is 186. 186. You know? 186. And if you've been following us, again, the comrade Sundiata has a release date. After 5 decades in bondage, he will be released. He made the parole board. And we'll see how we move from here. We shall see. So Sada's co-defendant is coming home. What that means, we will learn. All right? We will learn. Okay. As I said earlier this week, I'm going to make an attempt to be on all social media platforms a little more. But as always, support resources will dictate just how often. I will, as far as Instagram is concerned, I told individuals that I want to be in a space that when I'm live on Instagram that I'm able to invite people on the live with me for a short period of time and respectfully have individuals come through, all right, 5 minutes maybe at a time with a specific question or dialogue or statement, you know. But again, it can't be a space where I invite someone on and they don't want to leave or they trolling or, you know, or it's a bickering. Nah. You know, I like to use the lives as educational pieces. So I don't want to have to, you know, do what others do, which is dead to live, then come back on. And, you know, that wouldn't make much sense. Just wouldn't make much sense. You know, but we do know that people favorite different platforms for various reasons. We still have people that's still on Facebook. I haven't done a live on Facebook on I don't know how long. You know, but there's still people on it. We still have people that use oh my goodness. What's the other, what you call that? When you call in on the phone and stuff. We still have people that's doing that. You know, so every platform has something that people like. So I want to be on all of the platforms more and more to grow the tribe, to grow the resource, to get the messages out, and to service the people. So again, you know, I'm going to make attempts to try that. I'm not sure if, you know, Dory tried to call, so I'm not sure if it's going to be an outspoken or something tonight, right? I will, if not, check for the notification. I should be live on IG. I want to try it. So again, you want to see how it is. Most of my moderators already know. So they may be the first ones to test. So be camera ready. Don't come on there with no dark screen. If the screen is dark, your ass is out of here. Straight up. I'm not talking to no black screen. So don't be on there with no bonnet, sisters and brothers. Don't be on there with no damn blunt in your mouth and all that craziness and your teeth looking crazy. All right. You dig? So let me do this. Let me find out what the comrade is talking about. If we're going to go, we're going to go look for that notification. If not, IG. Yeah, don't be in the tub, sisters. I'm telling you. Got brothers on here, brothers, and brother, I bet it will come on here with no shirt. I've seen that shit to the same other platforms. Damn it. Telling you. How long have me and Doggy Diamonds known each other? For a couple of years. Seriously, though, in the tub? Yeah. My sisters call me in the tub. I get all type of stuff. I'm not mad at some, but I get all type of stuff. Videos, cameras, pictures, all that. Lives in the tub, and get all type of stuff. You know? Yeah, so please. We're not running that type of party because I'm keeping it. You understand? My lives on IG, most of them are kept. So, you know, be, looking crazy. Okay? So, be mindful of it. You know? I ain't saying you gotta come on there, suited and booted and shit like you going to an interview. No, you ain't doing that. You know? Folks ain't afraid of electrocuting themselves. No, they ain't having stands on the... Please. 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 Kevin Will, what up? Damn, Kevin Willis, what up? Where you been? You was deployed somewhere? I ain't seen your name in a minute. Coming on like RNA. I hear that. Well, again, let me see what the comrade wanted. And let's see what we're going to do tonight, all right? So, salute. Remember, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Share the vids, grow the tribe, get the donations right. I still have one of the brothers making a t-shirt. Listen, if that's your thing and y'all in it, you're already doing it, it's a business, we can definitely do a partnership if you want to get some merch out. Hit me, we'll collaborate, we'll get the numbers into it, and I have, I'm a writer, so of course, I have a lot of things that we can put on this merch to get it moving. And again, it only takes the slightest effort to change the vibration. So let me know if that's what you do. See, Carolyn, see? Oh, boy, I tell you. See what I'm talking about? Mom? They come on, they blowing kisses, they carrying on. Boy, I'm telling you, when the Leon Lonnie Love come out, don't get shocked. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I'm telling you. Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub. I'm telling you. Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. All right? Salute, salute.